Hi, everyone. This is Derek Ledwidge from Strive Fitness and Performance, and I'm here with Nicole Chinn again with Compassionate Counseling. How's it going, Nicole?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I am doing good. I'm ready to remove myself from my house and actually do this not here, so that ought to be good. So getting really, really close to that. We're here to talk about temperaments. I know we talked a little bit about that before when we had our first one-on-one. I was really intrigued to sort of make the connections with my clients with different personality types and stuff like that, and how it goes sort of hand in hand with people picking or following nutrition plans and training plans, because so many people sort of always try to fit themselves into a plan instead of the plan around them. And I know a lot of times that's really what causes people from going back and forth between yo-yo dieting and program hopping and stuff like that. So we're going to give your professional description on those. We're going to try to make those connections with everyone going from there. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, great. All right, so before we even get into the connections and go through that with the fitness side of it, tell me a little bit about the different temperaments, just like a rough overview on sort of like what you see and stuff like that.
So for those of you who don't know, I'm a clinical therapist, so I counsel people for a living. And with all my clients, I give them this temperament test. And there's many out there. This one I just find is a nice, simple one, and it really helps people understand the strengths and the weaknesses of their temperament, which is really, really good because most people don't realize that the way they make decisions in life is really based innately on their temperament. And if they understand themselves, they'll realize what those weaknesses are, and not to focus so much on the weaknesses, but more so the strengths. So there's 4 different ones, and we all have a little bit of each of them in us. And some of them, 2 of them are extroverted and 2 of them are introverted. And extroverted means you recharge from being around people, and introverted means you recharge from your own downtime by yourself. So we're all getting a lot of introverted time right now, for those of us especially that live at home. So yeah, sorry, we're going to say something? Here?
No, I said for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm double extroverted, so this has been tough, but I know what I need to do to keep myself recharged. So anyhow, the 2 extroverted temperaments, there's one that is called sanguine, very weird words, but sanguine is more your people. They call them the popular sanguines, the people that do customer service, sales, actors, comedians, people that just love to be around people, and they get recharged from people. And they are the people that come into the room talking. They light up the room, life of the party a lot of times, talk with their hands. That's what I am. So I'm always trying to hold a pillow right now so I don't keep talking with my hands, because a lot of people think we're Italian when we're saying wine, but really it's just that we're saying wine, and we like to be expressive when we talk. So they are very impulsive. They like change, like the other temperaments, or unlike the other temperaments, they love change. They love to do different things. They love variety. Then there's the choleric temperament, which is also the extrovert, but they are more the doer, the results oriented. Donald Trump is the most choleric of all cholerics. So if you could think of someone that's a little bit more brash, a little bossy, driven, likes to see the whole picture, wants solutions right away. Those are your entrepreneurs, your CEOs, your managers, people that own businesses, people that really like to delegate. They're not afraid to delegate. They're not afraid to lose. A lot of lawyers are choleric. So that gives you the 2 extroverted temperaments. Then there's the 2 introverted, the melancholy, which is more your analytical, your engineering brain, perfectionistic. They always want things done a certain way. They like to do things in order. They are more frugal. So they want to know, how things are going to affect, every little detail is going to affect the next detail. So a lot of people that are engineers obviously are melancholy, some surgeons, which of course I would want my surgeon to be perfectionistic. They are even just artists. Some artists have a lot of melancholy in them. They are the thinkers, they are creative, but they can really get down on themselves because of their perfectionistic tendencies. They are more depression prone, the melancholy temperaments, because they want things a certain way. They expect things to go a certain way. That's what makes them happy. But then they get depressed because they realize that things aren't perfect and things don't always go according to the way they want them to go, and they don't like change. And then there's the last one, phlegmatics, who are they're called the peaceful phlegmatics. They're actually really happy, reconciled to life. They like people more than the melancholy temperaments do, even though they're introverted. They're called the watcher, the observer. And so they have a lot of great strengths because they're very easygoing and laid back, but then their weaknesses are they are more fearful and worried about things. They're more indecisive. They don't want to commit to things. They have kind of a stubborn iron will that makes them not want to do things outside of their box too. So sometimes it's hard for them to keep moving forward. So both the introverted temperaments are pessimistic by nature, and the extroverted temperaments are optimistic by nature. That's just innately how we were made. That's not that they're trying to look at the glass half empty or half full. It's just innately how their brain and their body works. So when they are worried about something, they can't get it off their mind, and they just have to keep thinking about it and worrying about it. And that's what kind of sets them back a lot of times.
Cool. All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I know there's a bunch of my clients that are going to be watching this that are like, oh yeah, that's me, you know, one of those things. One of the things that I would like to sort of connect as well is sort of how that goes with people trying to figure out what diet is good for them, the different strategies, working out, stuff like that. I know that, like, you know, there's some people that when they fail at something, whether it is getting results or the different training, a lot of times they view it as, oh, it's my fault. You know, this is not, you know, I'm not doing well with this. This is all me, you know, stuff like that. And a lot of times in Strive, we with like nutrition consultations and stuff like that, we always try to talk to you about, hey, you know, it's not about, like, you're not it's not the plan's fault. It's not your fault. It's that the plan doesn't fit you. Right. And a lot of that, I would love to get your intake on the 4 different and how, like, what plan they would sort of like go into, as well as tactics. For instance, the how do you say the first one again?
Sanguine.
Sanguine. Yeah. So these are the people that, you know, they like the change, they like variety. You know, so in my view of just, and again, give me your insight as we start going through this, would be the, you know, someone that does, like, you know, they can't do the same plan month after month after month. You know, they need, like, I have one client that, like, literally every couple weeks, they're like, I'm getting bored of this workout. Yeah. You know, and yeah. So that would be along those type of people.
Yes, that is me. Actually, I am that person, and I have all my life tried to figure out, until the last few years, why can't I stick to working out? Because I always tried to get on the treadmill. I always tried to be a runner. Well, that's the best cardio. Well, I realized I hate running because it's something repetitive, like over and over. Now, I don't mind fast walking if I could walk with a friend and talk on the phone, because I'm social and I get recharged from that. So I need that. But my best workouts are either with a trainer who's telling me something new to do all the time and challenging me, and it's somewhat social, or classes. I love classes that are like fit camp, boot camp, HIIT, all of those, because it's working different parts of my body every day. And I have a lot of that caloric, that driven in me too. So I want to make sure that I'm getting the best bang for my buck. Like, I'm in there and I'm working every part of my body, and then I have lots of things to do. So I want to get in and get out in an hour. And that, like, works perfectly for me and my double extroverted temperament, as well as if I try to do like a diet plan, like you're saying, like a lot of trainers will just say chicken, rice, broccoli, chicken, rice. I can't do it. I will never, ever stick to it. I have to have like an overall, what clean eating is. I follow a blood type diet for my blood type, and that's what I found works best for me, because it gives me a whole variety, and I can pick and choose as long as I avoid certain foods that don't agree with me.
Right. So here's and then all of a sudden, I'm going to pick that, I'm going to pick this. Yeah. And as opposed to just, you know, hey, eat this. Yeah. You know, one of those things. So yeah,
that stresses me out. That stresses me out, because that means no change. That means I have to stick to this schedule. I don't like double extroverted people, especially sanguine people, like we're talking about, do not like that schedule. They don't like being locked in because something better might come along, or a friend might ask me to go out to eat. And if I can only eat chicken and they want to go eat Chinese, well, I'm going to go find something I can eat there then, So that doesn't work for me. It causes me more stress to have a regimented, specific plan every single day that I have to follow.
Great. Yeah. And I know like the client that I have with that gets bored. And it's usually every 2 to 3 weeks, probably every 2 weeks. She always emails me. Yeah. And so like usually for our training is I have the more bang for your buck. We always do that. But then it's like throw in just, like a random different exercise, and she's completely happy for like the 2 weeks. And it's like, okay, now it's going to do it again, do it again. So a lot of that too.
That does help. And, with those kind of exercises, you can always like, if I can increase the weight, well, then I still feel like it's a little different, so yeah, every couple of weeks is good. But if it's the same one over and over, then I'm like ready by the 3rd week. Let's move on. Yeah.
Right. And like a lot, like the people watching this, the most important thing that we always talk about for nutrition is it doesn't matter what you do as long as you can adhere to it. All it is consistency. So if you're not one of these people and you just love doing the same thing over and over again, that's usually what I'm more of a bodybuilding type workout. Like I can literally just go in there and do the same thing for months on end and just increase. And I'm completely happy because I can do it, and like
that would be the melancholy. The melancholies are like that. They like more of a routine that they know. They don't like a lot of change because it takes some time to kind of click into what they're doing and to feel like it's a routine. They would be, or melancholy, and even like if they have a mixture with the choleric temperament, just, that's probably you. So, but, just someone that, or some exercises that can give them routine, a diet plan. Like I know a lot of my melancholies stick really good to, counting calories and things like that I would never, ever take the time to do, but they need that. They need that schedule. They need that structure. They need it to make sense as to why, and to know that they're following it to a T helps them usually stick to it.
Yeah. The melancholy like accountants and stuff like that are number oriented, like, hey, here's your macros, run with it.
Exactly. Yeah. The macros will be awesome.
Yeah. And these would be people that constantly ask the why. It sounds like the education. I had one person who I know is going to be watching this video because she watches everything that I put on here. She'll probably email me later on today that are like, oh yeah, you were talking about me, because she's a nutrition client, and she emails me every single week, and it's literally a question every single time, and it's like, oh yeah, that's fine. And so I'm always waiting for it, and it's always Thursday or Friday that it always comes.
That's so funny. Yeah, they are like clockwork. And so they can be, in some ways they can be your most committed client, but the only thing that holds melancholies back is their self-talk. They have negative self-talk and they're self-deprecating. So as you were talking about earlier, you have, sometimes you have clients that they do one thing wrong, or they feel like they haven't made a result right away. They just start getting on themselves. Or if they have a bad day and eat too much chocolate that day, they are gonna, and this is what I try to help my clients with, because, I help them overall, and sometimes eating is part of it. And, that one, chocolate bar doesn't need to define your whole week or your tomorrow. It's, that was just that 1 hour, and you have plenty of hours in the day to make it, make up for it. But they will just continuously play in their head, I'm never going to do this. This is the worst. I'm the worst at following diet plans. I'll never lose the weight I want. As a matter of fact, I had a friend of mine who was a trainer that she had a group, probably like you do, like different 12-week programs and different programs for, a certain amount of people. They were doing like a group fitness, and she couldn't get some of them motivated. And she knew, just like you, that's why you're doing this, right? Why they keep getting stuck. She did not know like how she could get them past it, because sometimes you as a trainer become a life coach for people because it's a lot of emotional stuff. And every client that came to that my little discussion on temperaments was melancholy and with a mixture of phlegmatic. So they were the double introverted ones. So they were their own worst critics. They just could not stop the doubts and the negativity, and their own self-talk is what stopped them from their motivation. That's specifically what it was.
Okay. There's a way to like that for sure.
Yeah.
So what? Let's see. The next one would be the collared ones.
Yeah, the choleric ones are, probably going to be your easiest clients in some ways, as long as you can keep them and they don't feel like they're too busy. Because they're running businesses, a lot of them are CEOs and things like that. They're going to be your ones that are going to like, come on, I need to see results. Whatever you need me to do, tell me, as long as I can see results. The only thing that might hold them back is they might not be patient enough. I know this used to be me years ago, to wait for the results, not realizing that, you build your muscle from the inside out. So you don't always see the results right away. Even if you're thin, you're not going to see it right away. It's going to take a little bit of time. And with all of my clients, and I'm sure with you, I try to always remind them, the patience, if you can be patient and realize that your mental attitude is being affected every workout you do, whether you're seeing the physical results yet, your endorphins, all your chemicals in your brain, everything that you're doing is actually self-care. And that self-care is better than anything. And if you can keep focusing on that in the beginning while you're kind of waiting for the results and feel how you feel and really focus on that part, then you don't get so stuck on, well, where's my results? I don't see them yet. When's this going to happen? Forget it. Exercise isn't for me, which I'm sure you hear a lot of people say, and they just give up. So that's why I tell people, just think about how it does for you emotionally. That's what I've realized over the last 5 years of working out.
So a lot of like making sure that they're focusing on multiple different things of what they're able to do, not just the regular results, but all the different results. Like, hey, are you feeling better? Are you actually consistent, and you never were consistent before in your life? That's a good result.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's getting them away from, like, if they're really, really results oriented and that's the only thing that matters, a lot of times it's just changing their, trying, not necessarily changing, but making them aware of the different type of results that are out there.
Yes, exactly. Because if we're talking about the cholerics, they are, like I said, so business oriented. Like, they don't want to feel like they're missing their business deal or slacking in their job. But, letting them know that if, you don't de-stress by doing something for yourself in the day, and do a great workout that makes you feel good inside and gets rid of some of that stress, then, you're not going to plow through the day with a healthy, efficient mindset. So that's, I think how you can really work with the cholerics that you get in there. But they will, if they want to do it, they will do it.
All right. And then we bounced around a little bit. Did we talk about the phlegmatic one yet?
Yeah, we didn't really talk about the phlegmatic as much as we did the melancholy. I might go back and forth, but the phlegmatics, the struggles that they have, that I've found, is that because they're so laid back, because they're just happy, reconciled to life, they don't move real fast. They don't really have a need to be real. That's what I'm looking for. They're just so laid back that they're I don't want to say lazy, but some of them just would rather just not do anything that causes a lot of stress and output. They kind of give up on themselves if it feels too stressful. So I think easing the phlegmatics in with baby steps, but also a lot of positive praise as to what they're doing, would really help them, because they are just really, really laid back. And so giving them something really intense might seem really overwhelming, or if you give them negative feedback, like, come on, you should be able to do that, they're going to get in their head, them and the melancholies after, and say, I should have been able to do that. I'm terrible. I'm weak. So, a perfect example is my son is a hockey player, but he is extroverted and introverted. And he had a coach that would always negatively reinforce them. And he started to believe every time that coach would say negative things to him, as melancholy, perfectionism. Well, yeah, I must not play well. And then he had a workout coach that would say, you should be able to do those, and he came home completely deflated and felt weak, that he's just the weakest guy in the world, and didn't want to go back to the trainer. So, some trainers are more choleric temperament, and so they don't hold that in. It's like, yeah, that's going to challenge me and it's going to make me go. But when people are introverted and are pessimistic, that means they're giving themselves a ton of negative talk. The last thing they need is negative reinforcement. They need a ton of positive reinforcement, both for the phlegmatics and the melancholy, because we all are our own worst critics, but they even more so. They dwell on it and perseverate on it and keep thinking about it. And then that's what takes them away and depletes all their energy from being able to work with you in a positive way.
So some of the things through the different strategies, like for like nutrition or training, I know some of them the ones that are really, really knowledge based, the melancholy and stuff like that. It's like, hey, this is like, do this. This is why. This is why we're going to do this, and give you a long-term plan. Hey, we're going to do this, this, and this. This is why. When this happens, what happens and stuff like that. So which one would be more of the hey, here is 3 things that I'm sort of thinking about. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that would probably even might help a phlegmatic a little bit, even though they don't like any type of confrontation, but that's not confrontation. It's just asking them their opinion. So helping them have a commitment and, kind of come up with that idea themselves is going to hopefully drive them more, because, then they feel that, hey, this is something that I chose. I think I can do it. I have the encouragement from my trainer to do it, but it's something I think I can do. And so they might commit to that more. So, and I think anybody would like it, but you're right. The melancholy is more so like this is what we're doing. This is why we're doing, and this is how it's going to affect your body. And the phlegmatics are more just, okay, I need to take my baby steps, find out what we're doing, give me some ideas, and kind of have them choose, especially for the day, and then as you get to work with them, I think as they feel more comfortable and start seeing results, then they'd be more apt to start following what you want to do.
Yeah, excellent. So in your eyes, what would be like if someone had to someone's starting a nutrition plan, someone's starting and whether they know their personality or not, anything like that. So, like a lot of times if they if they sort of watch this and they're like, oh, I think that's going to be me and me right there. One of those things. Yeah. What would be some like tactics for them to understand, like, hey, you know what, this workout plan is for me, or this nutrition plan is for me? Obviously, it's not as general as that. There's a lot more individualized spots with that. Just like when I come up with nutrition plans, it's never a one size fits all, or it depends. It's always my answer. But what would be some like key things that people could take away from this to go on from that?
I think just, like we were talking about at the very beginning, is just really knowing what you like to do. Like I like to do cardio without knowing that I'm doing cardio. So I want it to be fun. So that's why I love my classes. I love music, or other people, because I am a little bit competitive with my caloric side. Okay, well, if this lady, she's like 20 years older than me and she's doing a full-on push-up, I can do this, So those things motivate me, but that's not necessarily going to motivate everybody. So you have to know, like, if you're a runner and you love running, I wish I did. I wish. I have, my girlfriend who is melancholy choleric loves to run. She will self-drive herself. She will work out for hours. She knows what to do and how to do it. She knows what, exercises, and so I think you have to know, do you like weight? Like I do like weights, but I don't like to just every day, like you were saying, Derek, go to the gym. I get lost. I start out that way strong and then I get bored with it. So just knowing, are you someone that really likes a specific routine with, and everybody likes a little bit of, I think, extra thrown in there, which that's why you need someone like you to help guide you to see, okay, this area of your body maybe isn't changing as much as we want. So let's tweak it a little bit. But I think that, people can really, ask themselves, what do I really like to do? Some people love yoga. I know yoga is great. As a counselor, I tell my clients to do it. Sometimes I like to do it. Right now I've had an injured back, so I keep thinking, okay, I'm going to start yoga. But the slowness of it, because I'm such a goer, it's hard for me to like settle myself down to do it, even though so I don't always put that in, but I put it in when I need to. I need the big sweaty stress reliever like boot camps for myself. You know, people that, you know, might be more melancholy or phlegmatic, like we said, might like a little bit more of a routine, someone telling them, because they're not going to be self-driven on their own, especially the phlegmatics. They definitely need someone to kind of help coach them and push them along and, you know, just keep them moving in the right direction, but showing them what directions, you know, or what things are happening in their body and how it's all coming together like they want it to. But so they need to understand themselves. Or do they like to run? Do they not? Do they like to just do weights? Do they not? Do they like classes? A lot of people that are more introverted feel very intimidated in classes. But I tell people, well, if you want to try one, just stand in the back of the class. That's what I did. And then you don't have to feel like attention is on you, you know, try it in the back, and then you can always move forward, you know, as you feel comfortable.
Cool. Excellent. All right. One last, we, most of my clients, whether it's nutrition or just working out in general, are females. Most of them are moms. And a lot of times mothers, they sort of either struggle with nutrition or creating the healthy lifestyle because they have the whole mindset of everyone else and then me. What would be along the lines of like a personality with that?
I think it's just every woman. I hate to say this out loud. Men, cover your ears if you're listening, but I don't think men have the guilt gene as much as women. So, no, but really, just because I mean, I work with so many people, and women just always, and I just think that's how we were made to be the nurturers and relationship nurturers for the most part. So we always feel guilty. I have 3 kids of my own, and they're 2 teenagers and 1 young adult now. But through all of this, even in this quarantine right now, I love seeing that my kids see me work out and now they're working out. My kids see that how much it helps me feel better, even just mentally, and they're doing it. And it is hard some days because I say to myself, okay, well, I'm working from home. I'm doing video counseling sessions. I need to keep up on my household still. They're eating me out of house and home. I got to, you know, cook and clean more. But I also can delegate more. And so that's what I try to do, because I need to find time in my day, every day, to work out. As I said earlier, I need to go to the chiropractor. My lower back has been killing me, so I haven't been able to do weights. I've been walking a ton just to get out there. And every time I do, I'm so thankful that I do, because I feel so good afterwards. It's exactly what I need to get rid of any irritability, any stress, just whatever I'm feeling, and it re-energizes me. Then as soon as I come back, whether it be working out like on my floor, doing whatever I'm doing, or taking a walk, whenever I come back, I have more energy than I started with. If I don't like start my day like that, I actually feel more like a blob and I can't get stuff done. It has become my routine that I actually put it in my phone as a to-do, and I put it in as a task, whether I feel well enough to do my weights, or if I feel to go work out, or I'm going to do yoga in my family room, or I'll do something outside with my kids if I haven't seen them. But it's always a to-do every day, and it's a to-do because I know I feel better, and I'm a much better mother, getting the good chemicals in my brain working and feeling like I did something, and modeling that for my children. They've been working out every day in this quarantine with all the stuff we have around the house. And they learn that from watching me, and they come to me for help, you know, on how to do it. So again, then it's something we can do together, which is so cool. And then you don't have any mom guilt when you're doing it with them, you know?
So it sounds like it's taking that same mindset of, you know, I like everyone else, but changing it around of saying, well, if I take care of myself, I'm now taking care of them, because now I'm a better role model.
Absolutely.
And on the other side of, if I take care of myself, I can take care of them better.
Exactly. And it's really true. I've even done it when they were little at home and I didn't have a sitter and I couldn't go to the gym, and we didn't have money for me to go get a membership where you can bring the kids there. So I would put whatever I had to do. I would walk to the store with them. I would jog to the store with them. I would do bike rides with all three of them, two in the, and the one you can pull and then one in the back. And I would walk to the store and I would carry my bags back, and I got to use them like weights, whatever I could do because I knew that I felt so much better and I was so much happier, and like my patience was so much better with my kids. And it's neat now that they've grown up and seen that happening, so they understand that working out is an important part of every person's daily routine, is what we should be doing. And like I said, if you can't, and I tell myself, okay, today I can't do my weight workout because my back, I just can't. It's not, so there's some things that I can do, and I'm going to do something active today. Not even for my physical, of course, that's an extra bonus as we get older. Who doesn't want the physical, happening in the muscles? But it's just mentally, emotionally, how much better I feel, because I've been in both sides of the coin. I've been the mom who didn't do stuff and just, worked with my kids, my house, my job, whatever I needed to do, and ran myself ragged. And I've been the mom that has still done all that and fit in the working out and self-care and doing something that makes my whole body, mind, and soul feel better. That one wins. That is way better for the whole family.
Very cool. Excellent. So, okay, and I would love to hear about what you've been seeing as a counselor for everything that's going on right now. Any like helpful tips that you can say just in general about the situation? I know it's been going. I know we're at the tail end, but what have you been seeing that's pretty consistent right now? And any helpful tips, and also just give a little bit of feedback of what you end up doing and whereabouts you're at.
Okay. What I've been seeing a lot, actually, in the beginning of this quarantine, a lot of my clients were actually doing very well because most of my clients are introverted. So they said, "This is great. I have a reason I have to stay home now." They're like, "We're going to have to help you, Nicole, because you're double extroverted." So it was kind of joking. We would joke about it because they actually were doing very well. It was just their same struggles they were having, whatever it was. The quarantine wasn't affecting them as much. As we're getting to the tail end of it, now I've had a lot of my introverted people saying, all right, this is teaching me that I need to get outside my box more. I need to do more. I need to go out more. I was really not appreciating all the freedom I had to be around people, and that, just knowing the balance and the boundaries, I think, because just because someone's introverted doesn't mean that social isolation is the best for them because they recharge that way. No, they need doses of that. And again, knowing themselves, because you might be extroverted and introverted. So you need a little bit of social time and a little bit of home time to recharge yourself. So that's why I love these temperaments, because it helps people understand, oh, no wonder why I feel like I'm yin and yang. And 1 minute I want to be perfectionistic and have everything organized and everything, structured. And another minute I want to be with people all the time and have fun. And I don't know, I don't know what's better or worse. So that's why it's really good for people to understand themselves, because if you do, then okay, like for me, I'm double extrovert. I like to go, go, go. But this has taught me that maybe we were going too much, because I felt like, oh, I can run it, 1 million miles per hour. And that's just how I love to do it. And I love that challenge. But it's not always good for your body either. So, and then I realized that with my kids, we were all running so much that we didn't have as much family time. So we've really been enjoying and relishing on the time that we're all here in the house together. But, so keeping some of those same, I think, rituals, the dinners everybody's been talking about, because with sports and everything, you just go so often. But then we're going to do late dinners, because I really enjoy that, being back at the dinner table together, which we haven't had in quite a few years, with everybody's schedules. So that's been great. And that's what a lot of my clients have been saying too. And then, like I said, for the introverted people to learn to just get out a little bit more. And if they feel that they're being too drained, then they come home to recharge. But try to find the balance, between health and fitness, whatever that might be too. Some people might be getting a life coach or counselor because they're not able to get past their own negative self-talk. Because negative self-talk, I think, is the biggest contributor to people's motivation, whether they have a lack thereof. And so that's why a lot of times our introverted clients are pessimistic. So they're so down on themselves, whether it be, emotionally and what I'm working on them with, or physically trying to get them to go do stuff that they need to do, they just constantly feel that guilt. And so, I would say guilt can be a trigger for change, basically. If you're feeling guilty about something, you have to ask yourself, what am I feeling guilty about? And what can I change that I'm feeling guilty about? If I'm feeling like a bad mom, well then, okay, maybe I've been working too much or cleaning too much. Well, guess what? Today, I'm going to do something with my kids. And now I don't need to self-deprecate and shame myself and say I'm a bad mom. I just say, oh, I've been so busy lately. I'm going to change my thinking and make sure I schedule something in fun with the kids. And so that I don't sit there and call myself a bad mom. I just tell myself, no, I was busy. So just changing our thinking is the biggest reason, I believe, why we have motivation or we don't. Mm-hmm. That's just key.
Very cool. Thank you. I know I want to say thank you for sure. I know all my clients loved the last interview, and that was more of a, hey, let's just see what happens scenario. Yeah. I know they're going to absolutely love this one when they watch it recorded, just because it's a lot of the stuff that I constantly say anytime I have consultations of, just changing the different mindset. So many people have that self negative talk. And, it gets in their heads, and all of a sudden now it's just an ever growing thing. And usually it's because they try to fit themselves, they might be a square piece fitting themselves into a circle hole,
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm super happy that it gets a little bit more professional opinion and descriptions. For everyone out there, if you have anything, especially right now, if you have a lot of that negative self-talk, don't keep it inside. Reach out to Nicole and Compassionate Counseling. And a lot of times just doing that, having someone to talk to gets you out of that mindset real quick, and you can get that blueprint to keep on going into positivity.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you, Derek.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Nicole, I'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay. Bye.